Okay, I'm going to quickly show you how to use the Polar Grid tool in Illustrator. First, let's reset the workspace so that we're all starting from the same setup. To do this, go to Window, then Workspace, and select Reset Essentials Classic. Now, go to the toolbar, find the Line tool, and right-click. You should see this drop-down and select the Polar Grid tool. If you do not see it, go to Window, Toolbar, and make sure that your toolbar is set to Advanced. To use this tool, click and drag as you would any other shape. You can adjust the stroke size and color here in the Properties panel if needed. Okay, so the default settings might not be what you want. Use the keyboard shortcut V, which is for the Selection tool, select the entire shape, and delete it. To adjust the number of inner circles, which are called concentric circles, and the number of divider lines, or radial lines, we are going to select the Polar Grid tool again and click Tool Options in the Property panel. Reset the numbers to your instructional needs. For my color wheel, I used 3 of these and 12 of these. Click OK. Now, as I draw the shape again, I'm holding the Shift key so that it makes a perfect circle. To reposition or resize the shape, again, use the Selection tool and select the entire shape and adjust. Now, at this point, you could copy and paste this into Photoshop, but be warned, you will have to get very creative for it to be useful. And we can see why if we open up the Layers panel, which should be located here on the right, but if you do not see it, navigate up to the Windows tab, click the drop-down, and then select Layers. You should notice some groups within groups. And one of the layers within one of the innermost groups is the concentric circles layer, and the other layer is the radial lines layer. Since they are not merged, if you copy and paste these into Photoshop, you will not be able to use the paint bucket tool to fill these. The groups within the groups is actually a problem for the tool we're about to use. To undo a layer of grouping, we are going to select the entire wheel, then ungroup by pressing Ctrl-Shift-G on Windows or Command-Shift-G on Mac. Next, we are going to merge our lines using a tool called Pathfinder. To merge lines, they need to overlap a little. All the lines here overlap except for the outermost circle. We are going to select the radial lines and hold Shift while we drag them to be slightly bigger. Recenter the radial lines to the center of the circles. Now open the Pathfinder panel by going to Window, drop-down, Pathfinder, and it should open like a floating window that looks like this. Select the entire wheel again, then click Divide in the Pathfinder panel. After that, ungroup everything again using the same shortcut as before, which was Ctrl-Shift-G on Windows or Command-Shift-G on Mac. Now each section of the wheel is separated into individual shapes. At this point, you can delete any sections you do not need. For example, I chose to remove the inner shapes, but that is completely developer's choice. If you're feeling comfortable, you can complete all of your coloring directly in Illustrator by copying and pasting hex codes and then exporting your images from here. Or you can move into Photoshop by copying and pasting the entire wheel using your standard copy and paste keyboard shortcuts. When prompted, choose Paste as Layers. Okay. So now, this step's very important. Go to the top of the screen, select Layers, then rasterize all layers. You must rasterize or they will not be usable. Now, over in your Layers panel, you can organize, group, and rename layers as needed. Also strongly recommended. Now, as a last note, just want to say that there are many ways to create a color wheel. Yours does not need to look like this one. This tutorial is just one approach, and there are many ways to reinvent the wheel. Also, there is so much I don't know, there might be easier ways to do everything I just showed you. So if you find them out, please share. Anyways, that's all I got. And I'm going to leave on the screen a list of steps for what we just did.